Hey guys, and welcome to part 2 of the Spirit Fireball Guide series, the advanced version. Before I get started, please make sure to watch the previous video prior to this one. I covered the basics of this strategy in detail and won't be able to go into it in this video. I'll be sticking to just the new tips, base approaches, and some intricacies of this strategy that I have come up with over the span of these past few months. Even if you are accustomed to other fireball strategies, I would highly recommend watching the previous video as this army works very differently. So please check that out. Also, the triple gold pass giveaway is still on. Just like, comment under this video and make sure you're subscribed to enter. But that's enough of that. Let's do this. Okay, so first in this vid, I will cover hook tower bases. I know some of you guys have been struggling against those core hook bases that are really annoying. So I have a reliable approach that involves using the recall to just recall the warden and not the RC. So I'm going to show you guys that. I actually found hook tower bases a lot these past few days. So I have, a few replays that I can show you guys. So yeah, let's get into the replays. Okay, moving on to hook tower bases. I found this base in Legend League today. And I figured this is the perfect example of how to deal with the most annoying style of bases, in my opinion, which is this core isolated hook tower base that you can't really reach with your fireball. It's hard for the king to get hooked, without other stuff getting hooked before him, etc., etc. So I believe this is probably the best example to show how to crush it with this army. The one tool that you have which pretty much full counters this hook tower is your recall spell. And what I mean by that is basically I figured out that if this hook tower is isolated as this one is, chances are that the rest of the base is super compact because you need to fit all the buildings in the base, right? So in order to do that, you need to take advantage of these closely packed buildings with rage towers or poison towers or invis towers, doesn't really matter. And what you can do is just scrap the spirit walk. You don't need it because you can probably set up the fireball with just like 2 or 3 invis and fireball this rage tower super easily. And if you don't use the spirit walk, then what are you going to use the recall on, right? So you recall the warden. And you recall the warden and you put him somewhere where there's not a lot of damage. So on this base, just taking a quick look at it, I think this 12 o'clock is probably the best place to like recall and redeploy a warden at. Because look at all of this trash that he has to clear. And the hook is nowhere near him. Like the hook is basically not going to see him that entire time, right? Because he's going to stand at a distance and take them down. He also has to deal with the king, minion prince and the town hall. But since I'm sending him from this 12 o'clock angle, he's actually going to deal with them one at a time. So the king is going to get aggro to the Firemites before the town hall is even in range of the warden. And the king is going to get stuck. Then the king is going to die. Then he's going to go on to the town hall. Then the town hall is going to go down. Then the minion prince is going to get involved. So it's just one at a time, which is perfect for the warden. So that's the warden done. Basically, I dropped him at 12 and didn't worry about him at all. The next step is to figure out the hero dive, right? So you obviously want to get the king hooked because if the king gets hooked and pops his ability here, then he opens up all these walls for your queen, which is obviously ideal. However, even if he doesn't get hooked, I believe this attack or this approach is solid enough to like triple without that. So even if your king ability goes off here, I think that still works out. I mean, in this attack, spoilers, the king does get hooked eventually. So, I mean, that's not an issue. But in other attacks, even if he doesn't get hooked, don't lose hope. Like, you can probably still triple after that. You'll see how crushed this one is. So, starting off with the fireball, just waiting. Yeah, so, right about now. So, just triple invis straight onto the rage tower. I even earthquake just so that all these buildings don't start hitting my warden and just like kill him. So always earthquake early if you're sure where the fireball is going to end up so that they all go down way quicker. And as you can see, Tesla's even popped in this area, but because I use the insta fireball method, which is, drop the warden and then pop the fireball immediately, that's not even an issue. So yeah, you'll never miss your fireball even with Tesla baits. Recall him, place him at 12 o'clock, and as you can see, he has a ton of like stuff to work on by the time he reaches the hook. So that's perfect. Next step, work on the hero dive. This is bad placement by me, just barely. The X-boat does lock onto the siege barracks, which is not ideal. I wanted to clear these buildings out as soon as possible before the king can ever think of going down. That's the only reason I placed it as I did. Normally I would have placed him closer to this 3 o'clock side, but the 9 o'clock side, but it is what it is. As you can see, I mean, you will see that it's not going to make much of a difference. So yeah, just trying to get the king hooked, trying to get him inside. It does work out. Unfortunately, the P.E.K.K.A gets hooked first, but that's fine. The king does get hooked eventually, and I mean, look at this. It opens every single wall that the queen wants to access, and from there it's just a wrap. Poison on the CC, that's fine. 2 druids, that's fine. Look at all the distraction I have here, and the warden is just chilling. He's just going at it one at a time, like I said. Invis once just for the queens, and I saw that the giant is in this rage area, so I've decided to ice block him. And I mean, look at this value. This is probably the most high value ice block you're ever gonna see. Raged Expo, raged multi archer tower, raged Rico cannon, raged multi inferno, and the giant is just soaking up all that damage while the queen is like taking all the other defenses down from the back. So amazing job. Also at this point, I believe I had about like 50 to 45 seconds left. As you can see, I haven't even deployed the RC yet. I have 4 invis spells left, absolutely crushed. I probably could have swagged RC, but I didn't want to risk it. So I figured, you know what, let's just like send her. Looking back at it, I probably could have swagged her. So, I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't really matter at the end. But just know that if you get this approach down, you absolutely wreck the base. So yeah, every time you see a core hook base, always try to keep the warden as far away as possible. Take advantage of the close compact bases that are easier to fireball immediately without a spirit walk. And once you do that, it's an easy triple. On a side note, also, I actually faced a similar base to this in my last CWL video. I believe it was the 3rd attack in that video. So if you want another like attack or perspective, then you can go check that out. Almost the exact same as this approach. So yeah, it works pretty well. Okay, second hook tower base. I found this base in Legend League today. So yeah, definitely super popular. I think I faced about 3 hook tower bases today, and I am pretty high up. I think I'm right between the top 1000 and 2000, so like roughly 1500 EOD. So yeah, definitely pretty high up. I am seeing these types of bases more often. The core hook base with double rage setup. So as I said last attack, every time you see like a void space around the hook tower, chances are that the rest of the base is super compact. So clearly there's this double rage tower. So same approach as last time. Try to fireball the rage tower with the minimum investment and least amount of time, just so you can recall the warden and put him somewhere safe. So on this base, I chose to put him right around here because there's a ton of like weak defenses, I would say, right around here. So the warden probably won't die even if I just ignore him for a while. So I did that, and after I fireballed this, I hero dived the this area so that I could get the king inside this hero hall compartment, so that the hook tower can have a really easy time just hooking him. So super simple, same approach as last time. Just waiting for the fireball. So just triple invis, easy fireball straight to the rage tower. I let the warden cook for a little bit just because I wanted to set the funnel here, and I didn't want the king to like walk outside by any chance. As you can see, like the hook is very dangerous. If the warden kept walking, chances are that he would get hooked if I didn't recall him here. So always be aware of that. And right away, recalled, and I placed him here just so he can get all of this stuff down and get started on clean up this side. Also start siege barracks over here. These 2 rocket loons just to funnel this out. Double wall break, perfect. Opens the hero hall compartment really nicely. They can deal with the CC, that's fine. I forgot to poison the furnace, but I mean, it is what it is. And boom, there we go. King gets hooked, takes all of that, takes all those internal buildings out. The queen with double druids, pop her ability. Yeah, not really much left in the base after that. So keep invising her just to keep her alive, get the monoliths down. The warden is chilling with all the furnaces behind him, and RC just for time. As you can see, I have 3 spells left, so plenty of force. Still alive, still moving. The queen is also alive somehow, so that's great. And yeah, same approach as last time. Get the easy fireball value, recall him, put him somewhere safe, and then yeah, that's it. Next up, I'm going to talk about recovery. So I did have, I think, a few fireball fails this week. So, luckily I managed to record my commentary on them and show you guys how to recover. So yeah, let's get into that. Okay, recovery time. I'm not very proud of this attack, to be honest. I screwed up a very simple fireball, but at the same time, I get to show you guys how to recover these attacks. So, quick rundown. I wanted to fireball this air sweeper out. I figured a Spirit Walk that'll get all of these defenses out would probably be best, and then I can use Rocket Loons to get rid of these defenses out, and then one invis around this area and one invis on the Town Hall and the Crusher Mortar, and that'll probably get it onto the Air Sweeper. That was the plan. You're gonna see what happens. So yeah, starting RC, that was fine. Invis were fine. Got all the value I wanted. Recalled. Got the 2 defenses out. So far so good, right? And then watch this. So 2 invis, and watch how I drop my Warden. Yeah, so that is not what you want to do. I should have probably placed the Warden a little bit closer towards these defenses. I could have like probably dropped him right around here and gotten it exactly onto the Air Sweeper, but I mean, oh well, it is what it is. So now when it comes to recovering fireballs, fireball fails, number 1 tip I'm going to give you guys is you cannot recover every attack, alright? Unlike a Root Rider attack where you can literally let like 2 of your heroes die off and still triple, unfortunately fireball attacks are less resilient and they do require more skill. So if you screw up something like a fireball, it is a pretty bad sign, but you can make it work. So step 1, do not panic and do not give up, okay? I've had so many people just miss their fireball and then quit the attack, like, you know, not even try. So never do that. Always keep faith, always believe in your army. I know that sounds kind of cheesy. Yeah, so that's one aspect. So secondly, the practical advice I'll give you guys is just imagine that every army in this game has a certain power level, right? So let's say Spirit Fireball has a power level of 100 and Root Riders has maybe like 120. I don't know. I mean, it's just arbitrary numbers. But my point is that missing the Fireball pretty much reduces about 30 to 40% of your damage or of your damage output, I should say. So it's not over. You still have like 60 to 65% of your army left that can absolutely triple the base. Now, step 1, if you miss your Fireball, you need to look forward. So on this base, after I missed my Fireball, I looked ahead and I figured out whether my Warden was heading into immediate danger or not. And here he absolutely was. If you look at the pathing that he's going to take, he's going to enter this area, right? Which is a Rage Tower, Scatter Shot, Multi-Archer Tower, Queen, etc. You do not want him to go there. He might stay alive if you give him enough invis, but you need invis for the rest of your attack as well, right? Because you've missed up the Fireball. So I'd suggest if your Warden is threatening to enter a dangerous area, immediately turn it into a smash. Do not even hesitate. Don't try to think of saving him or luring him left and right. Just go with the flow. Because if you try to lure him, then he might step into even more danger. For example, if I try to lure him more towards his Town Hall, he might cross this area and then this Multi-Inferno, Crusher Mortar, Town Hall. The Fire Spirit does, maybe the Fire Spirit too. So don't go that way. Instead, just go with the flow. So he's gonna go to this lab next, and then this Elixir Collector, and then I'm just gonna send the heroes with him for a change. That's the first tip I'm gonna give you guys. Second tip I'm gonna give you guys is remember you have furnaces in your army, and they cannot go behind your Warden if he's heading into splash damage. So a lot of y'all might be wondering, okay, well, if he's going into this area, why don't I just like flood this area with furnaces and then send him in there? Obviously, they're gonna act like skeleton spells and keep him alive, right? No, that will not happen. Especially with Fire Spitters and Multi-Infernos and Scatter Shots, there is no chance that your furnace is going to get any value there. So what I want you guys to do with your furnaces, what I did in this attack as well, is I want you guys to take 2 furnaces each and place them at each of the corners. So 2 furnaces here, 2 furnaces here, 2 furnaces here, and then 2 furnaces maybe behind him. The reason you want to do that is you basically will get into a lot of time trouble if you don't clear these trash buildings. And you want your heroes to stay as central as possible so they can get the most value and get and attack just buildings, right? You don't want them to like get distracted by all of this outer stuff. So place your furnaces on the corners and just forget about it. So I mean, maybe we can go forward a little bit. So yeah, 2 furnaces here and 1 furnace here. Another tip that and then I started my siege barracks here. So the siege barracks is to funnel the heroes inside, as I said earlier. And another tip I'm going to give you guys is this furnace that I placed. I actually have 1 furnace left and I placed it around here next to this building. And the only reason I did that is to get the Town Hall up, because as you can see, the Town Hall is already damaged. I also used my earthquakes in this area, so the Town Hall is almost dead. And 1 furnace can actually solo your Town Hall if it's low enough. So this is actually very possible. If you ever come across a base like this that's double rage but the Town Hall is kind of isolated, you can just use 1 furnace and just get the Town Hall out easily. So maybe if I zoom out for a bit, you'll probably, yeah, so there we go, that furnace. The only job is to get the Town Hall down. Okay, sorry. So my recording cut off because I ran out of battery. Apologies for that. So anyway, I placed my furnace up there just to get the town hall down, and I started my hero dive over here. Ice Golem pops immediately. That's good. It'll take out. It'll remove a lot of damage, immediate damage in the area, so your heroes can stay alive for a little bit longer. And just touching on the whole power level thing that I said earlier, your Earthquake Boots and your Queen and your Rocket Spear are all that you have left now. You don't have any other force left, so you want to preserve their abilities for as long as possible. So ideally, this king ability would be used somewhere around here, to be honest. I tried to wall break this so that I could use it roughly around this fire spitter. That would open literally everything up. But unfortunately, as you can see, that did not happen, and I don't have any other wall breaks left. So I decided, you know what, if my king is just going to be stuck there, I'm just going to pop the ability anyway. So that was honestly not ideal, but it worked out because this wall got opened, and because of that, the queens actually had free reign to just walk all the way to the end of the base. So that's good. And also, yeah, keep your queen ability for as long as possible. As you can see, I also added druids when the rage was active, just to keep the heroes topped off, because the healers can be a little iffy, not picking the right things to heal. So there's that. But as you can see, the furnaces that I placed here are kind of distracting. The super minions are kind of distracting. The king has gone to Phoenix, so he's distracting. So the queens are actually relatively safe here. Now, as soon as the rage tower is activated, I decided to drop an ice block on this area. And that's just because I wanted the rage tower to like wear down before they just wreck my army, right? So ideally you get like all parts of your smash in your ice block, including the warden. Unfortunately, I missed the warden this time. That was bad placement by me. But luckily he still ended up surviving, because all these defenses are like targeting the giant or the queens or the phoenix, etc. So that worked out. And as you can see, all these defenses are locked onto my smash, right? So this leaves a clear path to my RC to come from this top side. So I'll drop my RC and I'll pop her ability. So yeah, there we go. So she can just start sniping things out from the back, while they're distracted. The expo does lock onto her, but honestly, expos are not the biggest issue here. And I also have few invis, right? I had 3 invis, I just used 1. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I managed to recover this attack, so that was cool. So yeah, never give up. Don't lose any faith. It is possible. You just need to use the other hero abilities that you have super carefully, and that's how you recover. Okay, recovery number 2. So in the first recovery attack, I showed you guys how to send your heroes with the warden. And in this attack, I'm going to show you how to send the warden alone, like how you would in a normal spirit fireball attack, just minus the fireball value. So honestly, super simple base. Again, I just made a stupid decision of not invising this mortar, which caused the fireball to hit the mortar and not get any value. I wanted to get the fire spitter, so I could get both the fire spitters and the CC. And I spirit walked these 4 defenses out. So I thought I could just go like 1 invis here and drop the warden a little bit towards this siege building, and then get exactly onto this fire spitter. But as you will see, it does hit the mortar, and that was obviously not ideal, but you'll see how I still make it work. So yeah, so normal spirit walk, nothing crazy, just wanted all this out. I actually even got the multi-archer tower and the expo down, which gave me more confidence on this fireball. So let me just slow down a little bit. Yeah, so 1 invis, and I figured that this would be close enough, but I mean honestly, looking at this, it is pretty close. Maybe if my warden was a little bit more to the right, then but then maybe this expo will become a problem. Anyway, regardless, the fireball isn't really important. I got literally 0 value from that fireball, but again, as I said, step 1, do not panic. Don't worry about the fireball too much. Whatever's done is done, and just focus on recovering. So as you can see, there's a ton of damage on this side, which if you follow my advice from the last attack, you would probably think of sending your heroes in, but with him. But honestly, as long as these defenses aren't raged, then I think you can actually just send the warden with just the furnaces, and that will probably help him survive. So what I did in this attack basically is I took the Spirit Walk's funnel, which was these buildings, right? And I figured, the heroes can just go inside this way, the king and the queen, and the warden can just circle around this way, and these fire spitters can be dealt with the hero dive. So that would probably work out best. So you'll see how I make that work. Rocket Loon to distract the multi-gear tower, that worked out fine. Just 1 fire spitter on the warden, which is annoying. As you can see, the furnace are also low. A few of the healers were also low. if I remember correctly. So, not ideal, but it is what it is. Siege barracks here just to get rid of these defenses, and then I can send my heroes into this air defense and multi-inferno. I had earthquakes left over because I didn't need to use them for the fireball since I missed. So I just earthquake these fire spitters out just to wear them down a little bit. Rocket loons to make the funnel set, and yeah, this wall breaker to get the dark elixir storage. But as you can see, I popped the king ability right around this multi inferno because I don't want my heroes to join up with the warden. If the warden gets attracted to the heroes, then you're gonna get into a lot of time issues with this army. So if you're gonna send them separate, then I suggest you try to keep them as far apart as possible. So that wall break actually wasn't the best. But yeah, I popped the king ability just to clear all of these fire spitters out so that the heroes would go down. So that worked out. Amazing spiky ball, triggered the poison tower as well. Wore down these multi-acid towers. Also, drop the druids. I think the hero dive is pretty much on autopilot at this point. You don't really need to babysit that too much. Just focus on the warden. Don't let him die. If the warden dies, then your chances of recovering go down, by a lot. So keep the warden alive. As long as it's the monoliths on him, it's not an issue. Pop the queen ability just for time's sake. She wasn't really, gonna get into too much trouble there. So pop that. Minion Prince has been worn down by the furnace mites, so that worked out. And over here, I just popped RC from this side, right? Because time-wise, you don't want to send her with your other stuff. So like if you send her from the top, then the warden might get aggroed, might get attracted to her. If you send her from this side, I mean the super minions and the queen are already going to take all of this out. So you obviously want to send her somewhere where no one else is. So that would obviously be this 3 o'clock side. So send her in, pop the earthquake as well because I had that from before. And as you can see, I mean, even though I missed the fireball and got literally 0 value, it's absolutely crushed. I have 4 spells left, 4 invis left, plus an ice block. And you can just see how powerful this army really is, like, even though I messed all of that up, it's still gonna end up being a triple. So, yeah, pretty good. And there we have it, the second part of this 3-part Spirit Fireball series. This video just went over hook towers and recoveries, but I believe these tips are super relevant these days with hook bases and fireball baits being super popular in Legend League. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. The next video, however, is going to be the most important in the whole series, where I talk about a new approach that I have come up with that works on literally any base. So make sure to subscribe to not miss out on that. Also, be sure to like and comment to enter the Gold Pass giveaway. Leave your feedback. It really does help me a lot. And yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.